Okay, now I'm afraid you're not gonna see my face in this video. And this is actually just a test because I've noticed that the action cam that I have is pretty sucky, alright, to say the least. So the quality is not good at all. And but I like doing videos, so, and I figured out another thing, you know, that you like watching this video. So let's take a walk up this street. And this is Banchi Nuovi. This street is called Via dei Banchi Nuovi. And just, you know, just enjoy a little stroll. You see, you don't have to be in Venice to buy Venetian glass. You can buy it. You can buy it in Rome, exactly. Murano glass. Few places are still closed. They had to close because of the pandemic, and then they couldn't recover, and that's, of course, it's tragic, but nothing we can do. Look at this here. You see, this is a little Twizy car by Renault. This is a two-seater electric car, and actually it might not be very comfortable. I mean, for drivers is okay, alright, driver's seat is fine, but the back seat for passengers is pretty tight. It might not be too comfy, but it's a perfect transport here, for a perfect car for the center of the city. And compared to this Fiat right there, you see Fiat is huge compared to Twizy. When you get to Rome, you're gonna see lots of them, lots of Twizy and smart cars and electric vehicles in the city, in the center of Rome, because it takes a special license if you want to drive in the center of the city during the day, but in the electric vehicle or hybrid electric vehicle, you can actually drive all day long without any licenses or permits. The street is pretty quiet, but still beautiful. And look at this car right here. You see? That's a huge Mercedes boat for streets like that. Look at this street. This car came out of this street. Yeah, you have to know how to drive big cars here through this tiny narrow streets. Very quiet street, but very picturesque. Of course, ivy, green, everywhere. Wonderful. And of course, Rome would not be Rome without the street art. And you see, I love when they do it on paper, okay? You see, again, just like the posters that we've talked about before, this is made of paper, so a couple of rains and it's gone. And the building is not, the walls of the buildings are not damaged compared to the graffiti that will stay here for a long time, alright? Very long time. It takes a second to put it on the wall, and then it takes some major paperwork, licenses and permits to take it off, because you cannot just take a pressure washer to these walls. The lions. Alright, my favorite theme, you would say. Dimitri, stop talking about the door knockers. No, I won't. I love them. And you love the doors, so let me show you something else here. Literally in 20 square feet of space, we have so many things to see. We have this Madonnina, we call them. You see, people were pretty religious, all right, devout Catholics, like 99.9% probably. And in order to protect their houses and to protect their streets and their kids and their loved ones, they would put up icons or pictures, depictions, or even statues sometimes of Virgin Mary, Christ, and other different saints. And you will see them everywhere. Now in the comments, please tell me if you want me to shoot longer videos or shorter videos, and tell me what length is your favorite. I mean, how much time do I have to watch videos? Do I have a full hour or 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes? Let me know, all right? More street art for you. Tell me also in the comments, either on Facebook or on YouTube, if you'd like to take a street art walking tour, and we would be happy to organize something for you guys, either private or group tour. And our groups, as you know, are pretty small. And just like that, we have this. Let me see if I can go in and show it to you up close. As I said before, every building has a courtyard, and some courtyards are absolutely magnificent. Buongiorno. Alright, no, I can't go in, but at least you see what the courtyards, some of the courtyards look like. They're gorgeous. This little street, alright, just a few blocks, is called Via degli Orsini. Orsini or Ursini were a very prominent family, very powerful family in Rome. Another Madonnina. And then a palace. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, appear palaces with huge courtyards, with fountains inside, and of course green. But I'm afraid we can't go in. Now, let's get back to Banchi Nuovi. And this palace is called Palazzo Taverna, 15th century. 15th century means 1400s. Palaces were usually built like castles, you know, but prettier, let's say. Prettier and, but still a bit, you know, fortified. I mean, the walls are extremely thick, and you can see that there are bars, metal bars on the windows on the lower level. and then the next levels are pretty high up, and the walls are slick, and so it's hard to climb. And families, actually big families, lived in fear of getting robbed or getting excommunicated, or they were playing all these dirty intrigues all the time. And of course every wealthy family tried to get at least one of their men in the government. All right, government, of course, meaning the papal government. And of course the pinnacle of this would be the Pope. To become a Pope, everyone wanted to become a Pope because the Pope was the king. So politics, sometimes very dirty politics, played a huge role in the lives of wealthy family. This little square is called Piazza dell'Orologio, and you see we're just literally a block away from a main boulevard, Corso Vittorio Emanuele II. Another Madonnina for you. You see, beautifully decorated angels holding up this image of Madonna with Christ. Another courtyard. Look at this gate. The gates are massive, all right? Absolutely massive. I mean, the gate is so thick that they installed the intercom right into the gate. Beautiful. I'm afraid they're not gonna let me in, but you see there's enough room in the courtyard to park few cars. Absolutely gorgeous. Every house like this has a doorman or portiere who is there, 9 to 1, and then goes on a little break and comes back in the evening. So it's pretty convenient. I loved having a doorman in our building, because if you have a problem with plumbing, with antenna, with doors, with elevator, you just go to the guy and he does everything for you. He calls the specialists, the professionals, the repairmen, and everything is taken care of. But of course the condo fee is a bit higher because the tenants pay the salary of the doorman. And look at these lions. They look a bit fuzzy. I mean, they look like fluffy dogs. Beautiful. Another courtyard. This one actually looks way older than the previous one. And you see the corridor is long. So it's cool inside. It's quiet. It's wonderful. Look at that. You have to inspect every corner. You have to explore every street and every nook and cranny if you want to really enjoy Rome and if you want to see everything. And of course, we're just scratching the surface because the videos are from the center of Rome. Tell me in the comments if you want me to shoot things like metro and bus and supermarket and regular, simple day-to-day stuff. If you're interested in that, I can go to my local supermarket. I can go to my local bar where we have breakfast, because the breakfast cafes are called bar, and it's a bit unusual, but we go to the bar to have breakfast sometimes. So yeah, I'll talk to the guys, I'll talk to my neighbors, and if they agree, I will be happy to show you how it works in a normal, let's say, neighborhood outside of the center. Now we have another image of Virgin Mary. I don't know if you can see it right there. And then there is a sign underneath that reads, "Do not throw trash under this image. Give me your attention and your respect." So this is a perfect combination of medieval and Renaissance. And in some places we have more medieval, in some places we have more Renaissance, in some places we have ancient used as a foundation, and then medieval level, and then Renaissance level on top. All sorts of structures. They're old, you can tell. And I mean, this is not just dirt, okay? They're just really, really old. So again, as in many places in Rome, I have simple apartment buildings, and then we have more, important, larger palaces, like this one, for example. Some of the palaces are closed. Some are still inhabited by the owners. This one looks like it's abandoned, at least for the moment. And Roman moment can last a long, long time, but usually they're repaired and and used again. This is just too valuable to abandon forever. And of course it will be never demolished, all right? And more street art for you. All posters. Gorgeous. Just wonderful. This is a shot that you can use, if you want to describe Roman art scene in one shot, in one image. You see, a bar, but of course you do not drink alcoholic beverages in the morning. You drink coffee. And people very often ask if there are supermarkets in the center of the city. And there are. Okay, there are many actually. And one of the most common here in the center is Carrefour Express. It's a tiny supermarket, but you will find, all necessary things, to prepare food. I mean, pasta, meats, fish, sauces, vegetables, fruits, oils, utensils. This little scooters for rent, when they just appeared, it was a pure chaos in the streets. They were everywhere, but now looks a bit more organized. The symbol of Rome you will see very often, La Lupa, the wolf, the mother wolf feeding Romulus and Remus. Abbey Theatre, Irish pub. Please do not make any noise when outside the bar. Oh, that's a good tip. That's a good suggestion. You know, especially in a place like this. You know, you make noise, you're gonna bother every resident of this buildings. That's where you can see, you know, as usual in sports bars and pubs, you can watch sports. All right. So in this case, soccer or football or calcio, as we call it in Italy. Vicolo Savelli. Savelli was another important family in Rome. Beautiful. This really, it feels like you're in Middle Ages. Absolutely gorgeous. Hardware stores. You see tiny hardware stores. Pastry shop. Another hardware store. And I think our video is gonna end here. So once again, if you watched till the end, tell me in your comments what length you prefer. Just be simple, you know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, full hour. And tell me if you'd like to see the regular people in regular neighborhoods, nothing fancy, just living their lives, going to barbers, you know, shopping, supermarkets, and you know, yeah, buses, metro, and all this stuff. All right, guys, we're back to Victor Emmanuel II, the main boulevard in the center of the city, and here I say goodbye.